What's up guys? Sorry for the absence, I've really needed a break from Hearthstone, but we are back and it's time for Scholomance Academy. So here are two day one decks that are absolutely gonna crush all of the crazy stuff people are running on ladder if you want to get some free wins. And when the expansion drops, I will begin streaming right away and we will do a full 24-hour stream upon release. Make sure to tune into that Thursday, August 6th at 10 a.m. PST. We'll also be streaming a ton of Hearthstone in the days following, so if you're interested in that, make sure to follow me at my Twitch link in the description. And you can, as always, find my deck codes in the Discord, link is also in the description. So the first deck is Quest Mage, and most of these cards are of course going to look very familiar to you, but the cuts we've made are very important and will make the deck better. So first we cut Primordial Glyph for Wand Maker, and this card is actually a 2-mana 2/2 that adds a 1-cost class spell to your hand. Now that's pretty good with Sorc, and usually it's even better than Primordial Glyph, which oftentimes doesn't offer you a card that could be discounted appropriately to 0 with Sorc. So this fits a little bit better and gets drawn with Book of Specters, so it makes the cut. Devolving Missiles should be an excellent anti-aggro tool and all around just a super solid card that I think people are going to really like against Quest Mage's bad matchups. And I view the last card as a tech slot, so it depends what the expansion is going to look like, but you might as well just run Wand Thief. I think it's pretty close to making the cut in the deck and it's fun, and this is a great way to figure out if it's good enough. Overall, there's simply no doubt that this deck will beat pretty much everything day one, including aggro, control, mid-range, pretty much all of the jank that people are playing, so have fun and enjoy the free wins. So here is my build of the new Reno Priest, and we actually didn't have too many new cards that made the cut, however, we had some really important cards that made the cut. The most important card is this one, Mindrender Elucia, which allows us to steal our opponent's hand for a turn. And so what changes have we made to the deck? Well, we made it just a little more spell-oriented. So you'll notice that we actually run Radiant Elemental in the deck, and that's because I expect a lot of Quest Mage, Druids, and the like day one. All you have to do now is just swap hands, play your Radiant Elemental first, and you can play all of their spells even if they don't have a Sorc. And if they do have a Sorc, you can play all of their spells at a discount of 2 each. So now this deck has some decent defense against Quest Mage where it did not before. And we actually get an entirely new combo tool, which is really impressive to say the least, and that is Lorekeeper Polkelt. So what this does is it basically reorders your deck from highest cost card down to lowest cost card. And you can play around with this a lot because you can actually set up exactly what cards you draw in what order, but basically this works on the same premise that Hemet did, except when you swap your deck, the first card right off the top is Anduin. So if you use this right, and you select your cards properly, then let's say you play this on 4, okay, so on turn 5 you'll draw Anduin, and on the next turn you'll draw Psychic Scream, which should be playable if you have coin, and the turn after that you'll draw Reno. So if you know you have the anti-aggro tools to make it a few turns, you're guaranteed to draw Reno if you haven't already, and it comes a turn faster if you've drawn any of the cards that I mentioned. Since we run so many cheap spells and ways to make them cheaper, then I decided to include Gadgetzan and Auctioneer in this list, though this is basically a tech slot. And though these cards are not particularly important, I did choose to include Sphere of Sapience. Basically, the premise is that if a card is not needed in a matchup, you can toss it to the bottom of your deck. This is a really powerful effect when the card that comes up you really don't want to see again, so you just shove it down there and that's that. And Wave of Apathy. This is just a great anti-aggro and mid-range tool. There are a lot of boards in Wild, and pretty much every single big board can be reduced now to 7 attack or less, which is very survivable for Priest. And Priest does have a lot of ways to help kill 1-attack minions, so this chains pretty well with some of our other spells. Overall, this deck is going to play super similar, but it's going to have some very strong tools to combo just a little bit faster, and some tools to hold its own against its worst matchups prior. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on ladder with the new expansion.